Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video is gonna be about, is there colorism on the Real Housewives of Potomac? So I have noticed that when it comes to colorism, a lot of people they don't know what it means, they don't understand it, they don't fully grasp what it is. They participate in it and they swear they're not colorist, or oh, that's not colorism. And it's just kind of like, my thing is, if you don't fully understand it, don't be so quick to say what it is or what it isn't. But a lot of people are unaware that they are being colorist. Like, they don't recognize the behavior. It doesn't stand out to them because maybe they don't care about it. It's not something that affects them, so they don't worry about it. Or some of the people benefit from it, so they pretend as if they don't see it, or they don't want to recognize it, right? I do understand that when it comes to colorism, some people prefer not to have that conversation in the public. They don't feel that everyone should be privy to that conversation. They want to handle that in-house. And then you have other people who want to kind of like, oh, if I ignore it, it'll go away. Let's not feed any energy into it. But that doesn't stop people from being treated badly. It just doesn't. It doesn't stop it. It doesn't make it go away. And then some people are like, oh, well, that's not a real thing. You guys are just insecure. Yeah, probably. You want to be desired. Like, that's just natural. And when society tells you this is our standard of beauty, A, B, and C, and you don't fit into that, yeah, you could feel insecure. Yeah, that could have an issue. That could upset your self-esteem. Of course it can. If society tells you that only these representations of beauty are acceptable, only these people right here are beautiful, and you don't look like that, what do you think that does to a person? Okay, so I remember when I was about 8 or 9, I'm not sure exactly, but we had a family friend who, she's a lighter complexion, she's from Louisiana, long, quote unquote, good hair. Her daughter, the same thing, light skin, long, good hair down her back to her hips almost. She had gone back to school. She enrolled in some African American studies or Black history. I'm not sure what the class was called, but it was something along the lines of that. And she had to go to the museum. I believe this was a Saturday, so she had me and her daughter in her care. So she takes us with her. We get to the museum, and the professor, this is a Black man, this is a dark-skinned Black man. He was just so enamored by her daughter. Oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. She's so pretty. Oh my God, he's like literally falling all over himself about her hair. Oh my gosh, her hair is so beautiful. He's just going on and on and on. And I don't know why this stuck out to me, because this happened every time we went out. Like, and I was with them a lot. Every time we went out, people would like compliment her about her hair, but he just was like so going on and, oh my God, your daughter is so gorgeous. Look at her hair. Oh my God, her hair is so long and it's so pretty. And you see, this is, mind you, he's an African American studies teacher, professor, and we're in a Black African American studies museum. And he's just going on and on and on. And then he looks over at me, and I don't know if something clicked in his head, and he was like, oh yeah, your hair is pretty too. You have nice hair as well. But I mean, oh my God, look at her hair. It's just, and he could have kept, that compliment. He could have kept that. He could have saved that, because I did not need it. Had he just said, continue falling over himself about this girl hair, I don't think I would have cared. It was the way that he turned to me like, oh yeah, your hair is nice too, but her hair is so gorgeous. Okay, wow. But it did make me feel away. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it made me feel away a little bit. And it's like the fact that I'm grown as hell now, and I still remember that day. I'll never forget that. It was just the weirdest the weirdest thing. This is a black man. He was as black as my daddy. And he was just so enamored with this girl's hair and her, her look. And it's just like, that is how little black girls internalize, and their self-esteem is affected. And it's just like, okay, I'm not the preferred. I don't have good hair. I'm not pretty like this girl over here. That is how they learn that. That is how society teaches them those things. That, as well as who is in the commercials, who are the celebrities, who is celebrated, whose beauty is celebrated. That is how they learn. That is how we learn, and we grow up and we teach that and we pass that on. I don't know any black girl that didn't have an aunt or a family friend that told them, girl, you need to stay out the sun. Don't get into the sun. You're going to get too dark. Colorism has been lurking on the show, on Real Housewives of Potomac, since the very beginning. Most of us know that Charisse was the one who casted the show. She was the one that they reached out to, and she brought her friends along. Karen, Robin, Giselle, they were all friends with Charisse. And then I guess as the show went along, they added Katie and Ashley. The entire cast was lighter complexion, with the exception of Charisse. But the cast was built around Charisse. These were her friends. But Giselle became the face of the show. The cast was built around Charisse's friend group. But y'all had her at the end of the couch. On all the reunions that she's attended, she's been on the end of the couch. Very telling. All True Tea posted a montage of Ashley, pretty much all her antics since season 1 up until. And we all know that last season, everyone was so mad at Candiace, and they were saying all these things about Candiace and why she deserved to be assaulted, why she deserved it, why her mouth was so powerful, why her mouth was so reckless. And if you talk shit, you get hit. And so she posted a montage of Ashley acting a fool. And I was in them comments. You probably seen me. And someone, I think, said, why is the same energy not shown towards Ashley? Why are people not saying the same things? Like, why does Ashley not deserve to get hit? She talks shit. Why does Ashley not deserve violence against her? And Candiace, I think, replied, it was like, because she's light-skinned. I'm just going to say, I'm going to call a thing a thing. She's light-skinned, and that's the reason why people handle her differently than they handle me. And a lot of people were in their feelings like, that is not true. We just don't like you. We just don't like you. You're just this way. And it has nothing to do with color. And I will say that I do believe a lot of people don't like you, and they don't like Candiace. And it may not have to do with color. If you don't dislike her because of colorism, that's fine. But you can't speak to everyone's bias. You don't know everyone in the world. You don't know all the viewers. You don't know what biases that they have. You don't know what unconscious biases that they have. So for people to just dismiss it and say, oh, it has nothing to do with color, that's not cool. Like, that's really dangerous. That's right. I see the nuances. I read in between the lines. I definitely believe that people have different reasons for disliking Candiace, but I definitely also believe that a good chunk of the viewers are colorists and they don't notice it. They don't know what it is. So they wouldn't be able to notice it if they don't even know what it is. Season 1. Ashley came on the show. She did background searches on the people. Found out that Robin was going through financial strain and exposed her. Nobody said she needed to get her ass whooped for that. In season 2, she was also spreading rumors about how Juan had a girlfriend and that Robin needs to leave him. Now, Robin did get in her face and was giving her a whole bunch of energy. She was. But nobody was like, oh my God, Robin needs to get her ass kicked, or Ashley does. Like, that didn't happen, right? Season 3. Ashley was spreading rumors about Karen. Ashley came to Giselle and told Giselle that Karen was cheating on Ray with blue eyes. Mind you, when she was coming for Karen, Karen's parents were dying. And then you're meddling in her business, telling people she's cheating on her husband on one hand, and then on the other hand, you're saying how her husband don't even want to be with her. Her husband wants to move to Florida and leave her behind. You went in on Karen and you were relentless. You wouldn't get off of Karen's back. And all your little antics that you did, you told her in France about Ray, his penis was old and dried up. Ray is old enough to be your granddaddy. And you speaking about Ray in this way? Nobody jumped up at her, was like, oh my God, Ashley, your mouth is so reckless. You need to get your ass kicked. Nobody wanted to drag Ashley for all she did. She even came in Monique. Monique was her good girlfriend. And she called Monique out and said, oh, Monique is drinking. The look on Monique's face when she realized what Ashley was doing to her. Nobody called for Ashley to get beat up. But Candiace, on the other hand, yeah, she got into it with Ashley because Ashley disrespected her in her home. And she said, get up out my house. She didn't hold the knife like this and say, get out my house, I'm going to stab you. She didn't say, get up out my house. She did like this. Get out of my house. Go. Get out of my house. And then she threw it. And let y'all tell it, she tried to stab her. It was a butter knife. And you were challenging her in her home. Much like the cameraman and Candy and Portia were challenging Nene in her home. And y'all saw what happened there. Now y'all all want to jump in and protect little Miss Ashley. But y'all want to bring violence to Candiace. And Candiace has not done anything worse than what Ashley has done. Only thing she's talked about is stuff that she had receipts on. Ashley has been hell on wheels from season 1 to season 4. Ashley does something, it's comical, it's funny, she's likable. But when Candiace does the same thing, she yells just like Candiace. She insults people just like Candiace. Her mouth is more reckless than Candiace. Everybody wants to protect Ashley and harm Candiace. I don't understand how you don't see Candiace is smaller than even Ashley is. And y'all want to beat her up. Y'all want to grown men who don't have no shame about themselves have been threatening to beat Candiace up. Grown men. Well, she deserved to get popped. She need to get her ass popped. Why? Because you don't like what she has to say. She's on the show not to be mute. She hasn't said anything worse than what Karen has said. She hasn't said anything worse than what Ashley has said. Ashley and Karen, them two bitches go in. Say what y'all want about Giselle, but Ashley and Karen, those two women, they go in. They cut people with their tongues. Candiace is a little bit more clever. But those two, so we're all watching the same thing, right? Karen asks Wendy, does seeing Ashley's baby make you miss your own? And she says yes, because I didn't know that I had that option, right? And you hear Ashley, well, my husband works. Well, my husband owns his own company. And then Wendy's like, well, mine does too. And he's watching the children. Well, mine owns his own company. Well, mine is an attorney. Well, mine owns the entire company. And they start going back and forth. And Ashley's tone is the same as Wendy's. Ashley jumps up out her chair and starts hopping around and talking to Wendy crazy. And Wendy is matching her energy. They're matching each other. And everyone was like, oh my God, she attacked Ashley. How did she attack Ashley? Ashley initiated with her. Ashley could have let Karen and Wendy have their conversation. She interjected and she was going loud at Wendy first. And oh my God, Ashley was attacked. Wendy is crazy. Wendy is aggressive. They get to dinner, and Ashley tells her she's ferocious. She's on this side of the table, you're on that side of the table. Y'all start going at it again, and you call her ferocious? When Robin was in your face, pointing fingers and letting you know that it was about to be a problem, you didn't use the word ferocious on her. You didn't do that. You didn't dehumanize her in that way. But the black girl matches your energy, and because she matched your energy and gave you back what you were giving to her, she's ferocious. And maybe in her mind, she's not thinking like, oh, this is a darker lady and I called her ferocious and I didn't call Robin ferocious. Maybe she's not thinking that, but that's what happened. This was her introduction to a whole nother audience, and you label her ferocious. That's problematic. So Mia has been well received. Even before the season started, everybody was like, yes, I stand you, Mia. I stand Mia. Using her pic as their profile avatar. I mean, the people been going up for Mia. Y'all hadn't heard from her. Y'all didn't know nothing about Mia, and y'all were going up for Mia instantly. Very, very, a very stark contrast to how Wendy was received. So it bothered Mia when Wendy said that her husband was not attracted to anyone in the group. And she was like, oh girl, your husband couldn't even look me in my eye. You don't know why that man couldn't look you in your eye. If indeed that was his situation, because we know that Mia, you like to lie. We know Mia doesn't tell the truth. She was like, oh, he couldn't even look me in my eye. Otherwise, girl, I could take your man if I wanted him. Very reminiscent of Evelyn telling OG, your man would want me when she was patting her box. Mia, why does Mia automatically assume that Eddie would be attracted to her? Like, why? That he would skip over his wife, break his neck to be checking out Mia. Why do you believe that? Because society has told you that. That's why you believe it. Society has told Mia and girls that look like Mia that you are the preferred, that you are pretty, that you stop traffic, that you have something over the girls of darker skin. The girls that they don't have to tell you that you're better than a dark-skinned girl. But we see it. We constantly see the lighter-skinned women are celebrated. They come first. And then the darker skin girl, oh yeah, you cute for a dark skin girl. Or you're all right, but you don't hold a candle to her. Society has told you that even though, Mia, you may not be all that educated, we don't know what gifts that you have, but your outside appearance is more valuable than Wendy's outside appearance. Because why else would you just say, oh yeah, her man wanted me. Her man couldn't even look me in my eye. Like, how do you know? Maybe you had something stuck in your teeth. Many reasons why that man probably couldn't look you in your eye. Maybe your face don't move and he was stuck on that. Like, why would you just assume that, oh, he's attracted to me, he can't look me in my eye? As to say he's never been around pretty women before. As to say that you're more attractive than Wendy, and he's just so taken back by your beauty because Wendy lacks what you have. And he was so enamored and he just had to look away because your beauty just made him nervous. He couldn't look at you. And Mia's not the only one that felt that way, because I seen on Twitter, I seen in some videos, a lot of people were making the same assumption that Eddie is attracted to Mia, that is the reason why Wendy don't like her. Wendy don't like her because that's the type of woman her man would want. Why do you assume that? Eddie and Wendy have been together, since they were in high school? This man left his family. His family disowned him because he was like, he chose Wendy and that's where he wanted to be. I'm gonna step out on a limb and say that he's very attracted to his wife. He wanted a woman that looks like you, Mia. He's an attractive man. He's a successful man. He could have found a woman that looked like you, Mia, if that's what he wanted, if that's where he wanted to be. So why do you just automatically assume, and why do the viewers automatically assume that Wendy is jealous of Mia based on her looks? And what does she have that just sets her apart that she did not purchase, that Wendy cannot also purchase? Because she done sat there and told us the first day we met her about all her procedures that she's had done. Everybody says the reason they didn't like Wendy was because she kept mentioning her 4 degrees. I remember Wendy did not mention her 4 degrees. She may have mentioned it in her intro, but amongst the group of ladies, she did not mention her 4 degrees until Ashley and hers exchange, and Ashley told her, "That's stupid, Wendy." And Wendy's retort was, "I'm not stupid. I have 4 degrees." That was episode 5. We are only at episode 4, and Mia has told us she's a boss. She's a boss bitch. She's the boss. She told her daughter, "Tell daddy I'm the boss. I'm a boss bitch. I'm bossy. I have businesses." How many businesses do you have, Ascala? Well, I can't talk to you, Giselle, unless it's about business, because I'm an owner. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Karen is like, "Oh, Mia's a boss." Y'all not tired of her saying she's a boss just yet, right? Because y'all said, "Oh, well, Wendy did it the entire season." Y'all was on Wendy's neck by episode 7. Episode 6 or 7, y'all was on Wendy's neck because she said she had 4 degrees. And she got 4 degrees. Someone who I adore, I don't want to say their name, but someone who I adore, part of their brand is always talking about their degree that they got. And even that person was like, "Oh, Wendy, and your 4 degrees, it's enough now." Let me tell y'all something. If I had listened to my daddy and I went and got me some 4 degrees, everybody would know about it. And I wouldn't care who felt any kind of way about it. She has every right to talk about her 4 degrees, whatever it is. Karen came on the scene and she kept running down her husband's resume. She spoke about her husband's doctorate. He was the Black Bill Gates. It wasn't a problem. Katie was like, "I'm a ball and gala girl. You know, my mother runs this and my mother is that, and I'm rich." It wasn't a problem. Monique came on there, "Yeah, my husband's rich and we have 4 homes." Giselle, you just jealous of my lifestyle. She threw all of that around. It wasn't a problem. Ashley was telling Robin, "Girl, you broke and my husband's rich." It wasn't a problem. Why is it that all these ladies can say what their life is? Because we're learning these women and we're learning their lives. It's all good for them to sit up there and to brag about their husband's accomplishments, their husband's wealth, their husband's resume. But when this young lady comes on the show and she's saying, "Yes, I'm a political commentator. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have 4 degrees. I'm a professor," it's a problem. Instantly, Karen was like, "Oh, I'm not impressed," which was very strange to me because Karen, I remember at season 2 reunion, Sharice called you out because you kept telling the other ladies that their husband's money came from sports and your husband's money came from his education. So I thought if anyone would be impressed with Wendy's accolades, it would be you. But even you were like, "Oh, I'm not impressed. We need to get over her, whatever, her degrees. She's a doctor of what?" Did nobody say that to you when you were saying that your husband was a doctor, that he had a doctorate? But Mia, though, Mia can say, "Oh, yes, I'm a boss. I'm a boss mom. I'm a mom CEO. I'm this." Telling her little girl, "Tell daddy I'm the boss. I'm a boss. I have businesses." And it's not a problem. I don't get, like, y'all are not seeing the problem. Y'all not seeing the change, the difference, that how you guys treated Wendy and how you guys are going up and praising Mia? We're only 4 episodes in and you guys are showing us that you definitely have an unconscious bias. Mia says something rude and reckless. And it's like, "Yes, Mia, girl. Yes, girl. You the moment. I stand you, Mia." Wendy says, "I have 4 degrees." Mia, "Oh, there she go with her degrees. Don't nobody care about her degrees. We don't want to hear about her degrees. Y'all said all types of things about it." Mia's like, "I'm a boss." Girl, yes, Mia. Yes, Mia. We love it, girl. We love it. Y'all can't be that slow. Like, y'all have to realize, you have to realize and be like, damn, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe colorism does play a role. Like, y'all don't pick up on that at all. We saw a little bit of a clip where we don't know what happened. We have no context. We see Mia throw salad or lettuce at Candiace. And we see Candiace toss the lettuce right back at her. And people are in the comments, you see, she's in another physical altercation. We clearly see Mia threw it first. We clearly see that. She threw it first and Candiace picked it up and threw some back at her. And everybody's like, oh yeah, there she go. She deserves to get hit. See, and y'all made Monique leave. But Candiace, look what she's doing. She's in another physical altercation. You totally ignore the fact that Mia violated her first. No one has anything to say about that. But it's like, oh no, she deserves it. There she goes again. It's like, come on. At some point, you have to call a thing a thing. Candiace could do no right. The lighter skinned women on the cast can do no wrong. It was Jasmine Brand or someone. They did an interview and they asked Giselle and Robin, like, what did they think about Candiace's claim about colorism? And Giselle took the lead and she was like, yeah, that's not true. That's not a real, not that she said it wasn't a real thing, but she said it wasn't true. Besides, she and Robin are the most hated on the show. You and Robin are the most hated on the show for different reasons. I won't even believe that y'all are the most hated on the shows, because I would say amongst the urban viewers, y'all might be the most hated. But them white viewers, no disrespect, no offense, those white viewers love you, Giselle. They are enamored with her looks. They think she is the most beautiful thing. The white viewers love Giselle. They really do. Robin, not as much, but they love Giselle. I don't agree with that Giselle is the most hated. I feel like on the cast, Ashley is the closest to white, because Ashley is biracial and she's married to a white man. Her children are white passing. She is the closest to white fans, want to protect her. A lot of the black fans that have internalized colorism and they don't know it, they want to protect Ashley. So when Ashley was disrespecting Candiace in her house, challenging her, Candiace is asking her to leave and she's refusing to leave. And Candiace is like, get out my house, get out my house. Y'all act like Candiace was like, bitch, get out my house. She didn't do this. She didn't do, get out of my house, I'm going to stab you. She was like, get out of my house, go, go. She's waving it, go, as an extension of her hand, get out of my house. Y'all take that as if, oh, we got to protect Ashley. Candiace is violent. If someone is challenging you in your home, in your dwellings, you're going to get amped up. You're in someone's home and they tell you to leave, you leave. You don't antagonize them. You don't taunt them. She did all of that. And it was like, oh, no one cared. Oh, she wasn't acting wrong. She wasn't misbehaving. It was all good. She could be in someone's house and challenge them. She can trespass in someone's home and it's all great. Candiace can't throw something in her own home, a butternut. She can't throw this. And that was violent. That was terrible. And she deserved to be assaulted a whole year later in a totally unrelated situation. And I found it very funny how even last year at the reunion, when the topic of colorism came up, when Andy asked about it, Giselle was kind of like playing clueless, like she didn't understand what was going on. But Robin acknowledged what Wendy was saying. Giselle played dumb. Ashley denounced it. Monique denounced it. And I believe Karen just sat there. I don't remember what Karen said. She didn't say too much of nothing. But I know Karen understands what colorism is. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it because they kind of feel like this is family business. Black people should only talk about it amongst themselves. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Karen is at with it. Like, we should only talk about it amongst ourselves. We don't need to talk about it for other people to hear. Ashley and Giselle, they know they benefit from it, so they don't want to talk about it either. And Robin to me, seemed like she was getting it. She just was kind of like, yeah, she understood. I felt like Robin understood it, but she also didn't bring the point home. She didn't say what needed to be said. But I find it funny because season 1, Giselle and Robin was very for the people. I am black. I'm proud. They were getting on Ashley. They were getting on, especially Katie. Like, why y'all don't want to identify as black? Y'all were on them. Y'all were beating it into them that they needed to be pro-black and stop trying to identify as biracial. But now all of a sudden, y'all understand that. But colorism is a foreign concept to you all. Well, to you, Giselle. You don't know how that works. That was disappointing. That was very disappointing when she acted like she didn't understand. Oh no, I don't know what Candiace is talking about. Colorism is not a part of it. Now, I will say this. I know that Giselle, we don't want to ruin, like everyone saw what happened with Basketball Wives when this whole colorism topic came up. And if that's her fear, then I get it. But I feel like you have a social responsibility to say the right thing, right? Season 1, you were very pro-black. You wanted the people to know that you are a black woman. You made sure Katie knew that you nor Robin were biracial. You did not identify as that, yet you were black women. Y'all were very proud to be black women, but you don't understand colorism. You want to sit here and play in our face as if you do not benefit from colorism. That's a problem. That is a problem. And like I said, I know some people really, truly don't understand, but some of you are playing in our faces. Are you purposely being obtuse, or do you really not get it? Y'all have been dragging Candiace's mom since she stepped foot on that show. And y'all don't even know her. Y'all don't even know this woman. And y'all drag her, y'all disrespect her, y'all say all types of things about Candiace's mom. She's been a good mother to her daughter. She's been there for her daughter. She's been supportive of her daughter. But y'all drag her. Ashley's mom, who is so visibly flawed. Like, look at her appearance. Look at the things that she's done. Look at the position she's put her child in. Look at the conflict she's brought to her daughter's marriage. All the things, there are so many things to drag Ashley's mother about, but the viewers give her mother grace. They don't have nothing to say about Ashley's mom. All the time she's been on TV looking less than presentable, no one says a word. Why is that? Now, we don't know the real story behind Ashley's mom, but we do know that she gave her daughter to her parents to raise while she was out in the streets chasing a man. But when she comes on our TV screen, y'all don't have nothing to say about her. You don't have nothing to say about Miss Sheila, but y'all drag Miss Dorothy. But y'all have nothing to say about Ashley's mother and that dysfunctional situation. But y'all, colorism made Giselle the face of the show and not Charisse. And she's one person that is not going to ever comp to it. She's just not. And I mean, we see it. We see this, everything that you guys say y'all don't like about Candiace. Karen has done. Ashley has done. Mia has done. They've all done what Candiace has done, and they've done worse. And y'all go up for them, and y'all support them, and y'all love them, and you're like, yes, and you're intrigued by all of it. But when Candiace does it, she's villainized. She's dehumanized. And I just don't understand how you don't say, oh my gosh, wait a minute. Maybe I should take a look at myself. And maybe I should take a look at my thinking. And maybe this is something that I'm not doing intentionally, but I'm doing it. Someone posted a tweet about this. I'm not sure. It was like a couple of days ago. They posted a tweet saying they'll never understand how Wendy in one breath could say that Giselle suffers from pretty girl syndrome, but then turn around and complain about colorism. Even us of the darker complexions, some of us are colorists as well. You cannot help but to also believe some of the bullshit. If people like Giselle have been always celebrated and have always been told that they are beautiful. You have watched society tell people that look like Giselle that they are pretty, that they are preferred, that they are the one. They are what the world sees as beautiful. You're going to believe it too. Me being a darker skin complexion person is not going to change that. I'm going to believe it as well. Only someone who looks like Giselle could get away with the attire that she wears. Her tacky fashions, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but she gets away with wearing those tacky outfits, and in her mind, she don't even believe it. She don't believe us. We've been telling her she was tacky since season 2, and she doesn't believe it. Why? Because they have told her she's the baddest thing walking, and she's always been told, oh, you the word on the street. You the prettiest girl. You so pretty. This face right here. And she doesn't have to dress well. She can dress tacky. She can wear whatever combination she want to put on, and they're going to still tell her she's gorgeous. That's what we're talking about. How do you become the face of the franchise and you're the worst dressed? But anyways, we're not going to conquer this colorism thing in one video. So I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something from it. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.